Welcome to this explainer. Right off the bat, we are diving into a classic David vs. Goliath showdown on one of baseball's absolute biggest stages, Dodger Stadium. So picture this. It's a Tuesday night. The Seattle Mariners walk into the opener of a three-game series to face the two-time defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers were sitting pretty with Major League Baseball's best record, while the Mariners, well, they were dragging in the weight of a staggering, incredibly lopsided history between the two franchises. The stage was perfectly set for a heavyweight slugfest. 12. That's a massive number. Going into this matchup, the Seattle Mariners had lost 12 straight games to this Dodgers team. It's the kind of streak that honestly just gets in a team's head. You know how it is. When you play a team that consistently has your number and you're stepping right into their territory, you aren't just fighting their current roster. You are literally fighting the ghosts of the last dozen matchups.
And to really grasp the true weight of that streak, you have to travel all the way back to June 28, 2009. That was the last time Seattle actually won a game in this building. To put that into perspective for you, the last time the Mariners celebrated a win at Dodger Stadium, their lineup featured absolute baseball legends Ken Griffey Jr. and Ichiro Suzuki. Yeah, that is exactly how long this drought had been dragging on.
So right out of the gate, it felt like history might just repeat itself, right? The Dodgers struck first, and they did it in the most Shohei Ohtani way imaginable. Leading off the bottom of the first inning, Ohtani takes a two-strike pitch from Mariners starter Luis Castillo and just completely crushes it. We're talking a massive 432-foot rocket over the center field wall. It was his 10th leadoff homer of the season, instantly putting LA up 1-0 and making a massive statement.
But what followed was absolute chaos. Just a relentless back-and-forth dogfight. Every single time the Dodgers landed a punch, the Mariners hit back even harder. After Cal Raleigh tied it up with a 403-foot solo shot in the second, these teams just kept trading blows. By the time Max Muncy launched a solo shot in the fifth to put LA up 5-4, we had already seen 4 lead changes or ties. It was a complete roller coaster, showing just how badly both of these offenses wanted to dictate the pace of the game.
Well, that brings us to the top of the 6th inning, and this incredibly dramatic turning point. Down 5-4, enter Dominic Canzone. He steps up to the plate and mashes a mammoth 433-foot solo homer to dead center field, tying the game once again at 5 apiece. Now that swing was monumental. Why? Because it meant the Mariners offense had tagged Dodgers starter Justin Robleski for a career-high 4 home runs in just 6 innings. Actually, to give you some context on how wild that is, that's more homers than Robleski had allowed in his previous 107 innings combined.
Fast forward to the 8th inning and the tension is peaking. Deadlocked at 5, Julio Rodríguez, J-Rod, kicks things off with a crucial one-out single. Then, using that elite speed of his, he swipes second base. By manufacturing the go-ahead run and putting himself in scoring position, J-Rod effectively backed Dave Roberts into a high-stakes corner. This prompted the Dodgers manager to pull the plug, bringing in reliever Alex Fija to try and neutralize the threat and face Dominic Canzone.
And man, did that managerial gamble backfire in spectacular fashion. Vesia leaves an 0-1 slider hanging right down the middle, and Canzone unloads. He sends a 414-foot missile screaming into the center field bleachers. This was his second home run of the night, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, it gave Seattle a stunning 7-5 lead late in the game. As you can imagine, the Mariners dugout absolutely erupted.
But listen, you don't beat the defending champions that easily. In the bottom of the ninth, things got incredibly messy for Mariners closer Andrés Muñoz. Dalton Rushing leads off with an infield single. Then, Ohtani laces a double to right field. And to make matters even worse, defensive replacement Victor Robles misplays the ball on the warning track. This massive error allows Rushing to score and Ohtani to advance to third. Suddenly, it's a 7-6 game, and Muñoz is walking at terrifying tightrope.
Let's set the scene here, because the pressure Muñoz faced on the mound was just suffocating. The tying run is standing a mere 90 feet away on third base. There are 0 outs. And who is walking up to the plate? Only the absolute heart of baseball's most dangerous lineup. This right here is the ultimate test of a closer's mental toughness.
But Muñoz? He digs unbelievably deep. He strikes out Andy Pages. He induces a ground out from Freddie Freeman. He survives a grueling 9-pitch walk to Max Muncy, who even stole second to put the winning run in scoring position. And then, with the entire game on the line, he gets Mookie Betts to ground out to shortstop, locking down his 19th save in a complete, heart-pounding nail-biter.
Zooming out for a second, you gotta look at what this offensive explosion did to the starting pitchers, because neither guy on the mound had a pretty night. The Mariners' Luis Castillo gave up 5 runs on 11 hits. And on the other side, as we mentioned, Justin Robleski had a really rough, battered outing, surrendering that career-high 4 home runs. This wasn't some quiet pitcher's duel, this was a heavyweight battle of the bats. And ultimately, the Mariners' bullpen, led by Jose Ferrer and Muñoz, did just enough to hold the line.
So, what are the big takeaways from this wild night? First and foremost, the Mariners finally snapped that haunting 12-game losing streak to Los Angeles. They did it by mashing a season-high 5 home runs, and historically, they secured their very first win at Dodger Stadium since 2009. It was a total team effort across the board. You had Dominic Canzone playing the hero with 2 home runs, Rob Refsnyder stepping right off the IL to hit a huge 2-run shot, and Julio Rodríguez providing a homer, a single, and that crucial stolen base to spark the winning rally. The Dodgers showed exactly why they've got those championship rings, pounding out 13 hits and refusing to give up until the final out was recorded. But that night belonged to Seattle. They proved they can step into hostile territory and hang with the absolute best in the league. As these two teams gear up to face off again, with Emerson Hancock taking the mound against Eric Lauer, it leaves us with one major question. With this 15-year curse at Dodger Stadium finally broken, is this massive underdog momentum the exact spark the Mariners need to conquer the rest of the league? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll leave you to ponder that one.